It's my pants. I'm sorry.
Take your pants off.
We're starting out that way. I just won't move.
There's the call.
That's got to be the call.
Take your pants off. And here we go.
Welcome back to another edition of the Sorta Stupid Sports. Are we going?
We're here. We're stupid.
Hey guys.
We're sort of stupid.
How
We're
you doing?
pantsless.
Some of us are pantsless. Some of us are wearing shorts. Troy and me because they're
Darren, I'll take my pants off for solidarity.
I mean,
it's for work.
I'll join you
you don't
in
have
taking
to.
pants off.
I do.
Listen, I like shorts. They're comfy and easy to wear.
Are we talking about?
Okay.
Let's talk about sports. All right.
Yeah, that was.
All right. Let's just someone bring us in here. Let's someone announce it. Matt.
Baseball's back, boys.
Baseball.
Yeah.
We can jump into a sport, I guess.
Dude, we had a baseball fantasy draft yesterday, and I've never had more fun in my life.
$300 million on Chris Sale. $300.
$300.
Yeah.
It was
Out of the
out of the 800.
Listen,
Yeah.
$300.
I also spent $100 on Joey Votto.
All right, I'm gonna ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you know who Chris Sale is?
I have absolutely no idea.
Best
but
pitcher in baseball.
But listen, so this guy kept bidding on him, and they were like, "We can't let this guy bid on him." So I was like, "Hold my water."
Wow.
Because I don't drink.
Hold my juicy juice.
Hold my juice box, and I bid $300 on it.
Yeah.
We can edit that out. That was awful.
Yeah, you should have just kept going with it.
But yeah, it was real fun. So Darren, what's going on in the land of baseball?
In the world of real baseball.
Spring training started last Thursday.
Troy Tulowitzki today, actually, his first Yankees at bat. First pitch and a home run.
Oh, well then.
So, I think that pretty much settles it. Yankees win the World Series.
Well, I mean, the Reds were slapping some dingers, too. Yeah.
What about Yasiel Puig not really committing to
Look, they didn't teach us that in 4th grade baseball.
Yeah, that's about all I played was
There's a-
4th grade
there's a reason for
baseball.
that.
Nope, my coach kept me on the bench.
You were rolling, right?
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey,
at least I got the bat, Matt.
I mean, I did too sometimes, but like, I don't know. Like in our league, they had like a rule that said you had to play each kid for like at least 4 innings or whatever, at least half the game. Yeah, he didn't. I was the only kid on the team who didn't get to play.
Wait,
Yeah,
so
you
are we
Are
gonna restart?
All
this?
right,
let's
so
keep
I'll
going.
just start at my point.
All right.
So, Noah, what do you think about Yasiel Puig not really committing to the team right now?
Honestly, I'm not super worried about it.
He said that he's pretty much reminded everybody anytime a microphone's been in his face that he is a free agent next year.
Yeah, I honestly don't care. I knew going into this he's an idiot. So I wasn't really worried about it. I mean, if he plays, then fine. But if he doesn't play, then I don't care. We're kind of in the same boat we were last year.
All right, so what if the Reds get Bryce Harper?
If that were to somehow happen.
You'd have to sell the stadium, of course.
Well, I mean,
Probably
it's not it's a nice stadium. It's
Listen.
not a very good baseball field.
I'll
But
just Fenway Park, obviously.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, you're gonna need it at least.
Pretty sure your park is garbage.
It's the oldest and probably the best park ever.
It's
not
old.
anymore.
It's very ugly.
It's
I
falling
love it.
apart,
I love
man.
it a lot. I still love it.
It's all falling
There's a
apart.
lot of World Series that happens there.
Who's the best team in baseball?
We're all going to say our team, so like,
Well, I'm
like,
not,
like
but
in
what do you
history?
mean?
Like right now, who is the best?
Oh
team
no,
in
that's
baseball?
we don't have time for that.
New York Yankees.
it's probably
It's not the Yankees.
It's,
We
the,
have-
it's the defending champs.
I'm not a
Oh my
bandwagon.
gosh.
in
It's
anything
gotta
else.
be.
Who
Maybe
haven't
I
got
should
any
be a
better.
bandwagon in this.
They didn't get any worse.
They've got worse,
That's Pedroia back. That's what matters.
He's 90.
Still rakes.
Can he even swing?
Yeah. You'll see.
He does not rake. I'll tell you that for sure.
I don't know.
That's more baseball terminology for you too. Also it means the same thing as dingers.
Listen,
Yeah.
listen. I've just started to understand, your basketball terminology. Now you're springing baseball on me.
Hey, you're gonna have to learn.
You're gonna
This
have
is
to
a
learn
sports
quick.
podcast.
Yeah, honestly.
You're not wrong.
You signed up for this.
Hey, I signed up for the AAF.
Okay, no one
No,
cares.
you
about
didn't.
Well, that was
Well,
slick.
when we started this, that wasn't.
That
wasn't
didn't
even-
Technically, it was a thing. It's been like a thing for like
None
a
of us
year,
knew about it.
Yeah.
but none of us knew about it.
All right, Blaine, you can talk about the AAF.
Well,
Wanna
let
go
me.
into baseball though?
Are you done with baseball?
Not much has happened.
Yeah, that's it.
Probably
I mean,
for
it's
stars to
spring
sign.
training.
It's
Yeah.
spring
Come
training.
on.
We're all excited that it's back, and that's
Yeah.
it.
And the Reds still have a chance until the regular season.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But
Well.
this weekend in the Alliance of American Football, the Stallions surprised me. I got to watch that game. upset. They upset the 2-0 Arizona Hotshots and beat them 23-15. And I thought Josh Woodrum looked really good.
Oh, it's because
he's the quarterback.
Ravens practice squad quarterback.
Yeah.
That's why he's good.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Behind Flacco all those years.
We're going to talk about
the great Flacco.
my boys, who are remaining 3-0, and the best team in the AAF. They beat the Memphis Terrible Express, 21-17.
So I got a question. At what point do we start treating AAF like esports talk?
Listen,
It's getting there.
We're in an off season for the podcast, so if he gets to talk about AAF, I get to talk about
listen,
it.
you're just upset that the Atlanta
what if
Legends
we just-
suck.
So what if we just cut them both off then? You know?
No,
No, we don't have a podcast.
No more
That's
esports.
fine.
No
We
more
can
AAF.
come up with a bunch of stupid questions.
Okay.
Birmingham won. They're 3-0 as well. They won 28-12
Probably the
against
best team in the AAF.
against the terrible Atlanta Legends.
Is that the one that
And
Trent Richardson?
Yeah.
Trent Richardson has 6 touchdowns.
Yeah, he
All
had
And a
like
terrible
three-
1
We
point.
think Trent Richardson in
yard
an
average.
NFL jersey next year?
I hope he goes to the
No.
Browns.
He's
Are
a
we
third
union
down
with the
back,
Browns.
Yeah.
Kareem Hunt's
Oh,
gone.
think of that backfield. Kareem Hunt,
Ooh.
Trent Richardson, and
I'm good.
Duke
Nick
Johnson.
Thanks. Thanks, guys.
And,
It's fine.
Yeah, maybe
Matt.
the Bengals. They don't have a running back either.
Matt,
That's
your team won pretty handily. The San Diego
He
Fleet
didn't
beat the
hear you say
Commanders.
that.
I'll
He
take
didn't-
it.
He didn't hear you say that the
131-11.
Bengals don't have a running
They
back.
don't have a running back.
I mean,
Do you
Joe
see what they're
Mixon's-
doing? Do you see what
yeah.
they're doing to you right now?
Oh yeah, they're colluding. Even though
This
Joe
is what we do
Mixon,
during esports.
Joe Mixon's the best running back in the entire AFC, but
Whoa.
That's false.
Kareem Hunt's there now.
statistically,
Yeah, but no one
Yeah.
knows statistics.
so
Yeah, do you want to back that up?
yeah, he ran for 1,198 yards, led the entire
When?
AFC
When?
last season
When?
in rushing. Joe Mixon did.
I mean, he's right.
But when you have
Hold
Jeff,
on.
Okay.
But when
Kareem
you
Hunt got cut off halfway through the year. Le'Veon Bell didn't sign with a team. Nick Chubb didn't start until like 4 games into the season.
and then
And can we
let's just-
also talk about the fact that they have Andy Dalton as a quarterback, and AJ Green didn't play
Oh,
the
yeah.
majority of the season.
And-
Andy
They're
Dalton
not
and
throwing
AJ
the ball.
Green both didn't.
And Driscoll had
Yeah,
to play.
yeah, they're
Look,
not throwing the
Hey,
ball.
listen,
Context is not important.
You're
but
saying,
that-
hold on, hold
When he,
on.
when he gets 75 carries a game,
If
I
we're-
hope
if
he
we're-
has over 1,000 yards.
If we're talking about this,
Look, context
Tyler-
isn't important. I have more rushing yards than Reggie Bush did his last season. I'm out.
Tyler Boyd.
That's not true, actually.
He had -1.
Yeah,
Oh,
negative
yeah.
3 yards.
Yeah, I guess.
actually.
-3. My bad.
Yeah, I
I'm
guess.
just saying, Tyler Boyd also had 1,000 yards receiving
Right.
this year. So
I think you're talking about.
He was the only person to throw to.
John Ross got 7
Oh my,
touchdowns.
John Ross is a track star. That dude's got bricks for hands.
I mean, you're not right.
We gotta talk
Man.
about. I don't know. Gus the Bus led the league when he started in the AFC, so we gotta throw that out there too.
Who?
After week 11, yeah, for the Ravens.
Butts.
Gus.
Who's Gus the Bus?
You don't get a name if you've only played 6
No.
Yeah.
Well,
There's
well.
only one bus, and I hate him.
That's
But
Jerome Bettis.
you gotta put some respect on his name.
No, I'm still going
Jerome
Gus the
Bettis.
Bus. You know.
When I first started playing football, I tried to get the number 36 because I was a running back and the jersey was too big. Apparently, my fullbacks were that number.
Well, I mean, that's why it was called the bus.
Yeah, but
But
it's all good.
That's also because the uniform was yellow and black, you know.
hey, did you guys
cares.
see what happened? Speaking or like during the AAF, there was a record set this weekend.
No.
Well, of course it's gonna be record set.
Yeah, there's gonna be a record set every week.
like a Guinness World Record was set.
Oh, the dog.
Yeah.
That's the best part of the game.
Oh, they
No,
did
the Apollos one.
Oh,
that was
the
best part of
frisbee
game.
catch?
Yeah,
Yeah, that
30
dog,
yard.
man.
83
That dog
yard
caught an
frisbee catch.
83-yard frisbee throw.
probably could throw it in
Catch.
3 yards.
That's
Airbud.
pretty solid.
It's Airbud. That's Airbud level.
That's
right there.
Airbud.
Oh, my
Real life
goodness.
Airbud.
Probably couldn't throw it 83 yards.
I couldn't throw a frisbee that far.
I could throw it
No.
kind of
Frisbees
far,
are
but
freaking
not-
impossible.
not
Yeah,
83.
My
like, you gotta
grandpa
get like a
could.
real
My
high
grandpa's real good
quality
at it.
frisbee.
Shout out to you,
It's all about
Grandpa.
taste, you know.
See, I'm probably the best can jam player of all time, so I'm pretty nice.
That's because there's only 7 of you.
Hold on, put some respect on can jam, please.
At least double digits.
That's another sport we're adding to this podcast.
There we go.
It's time for can jam.
We're just gonna keep piling it on.
I played Can Jam once, and there's no skill. It's just luck.
Oh no, there's skill.
Okay.
Okay, when you put her in the hole every time, there's skill. There's skill in there.
Okay.
All right,
Blaine,
so
take a
that's
hike.
the AAF talk for the whole
I mean,
week.
it was a good
probably
weekend
the
of it.
next month.
Of AAF football.
So is there only one undefeated team left or 2?
Two.
Trevor
I'm just
Richardson's
saying.
team. That's what it's
The
called.
Birmingham
AAF is
Iron.
The
more
Richardsons.
exciting to watch.
The
than
Alabama
the,
Crimson Tide
NFL.
Iron.
right now.
That could make it in the
because
NFL.
They can.
Alabama
No, I'm
2.0.
saying like
Yeah.
because
We're
you
having
lost
two
it.
conversations
I know.
going on right now,
You
and
really
it's messing
did.
with my head.
All right.
You okay now, buddy?
No one is going to be able to understand the podcast.
So let's stop.
That doesn't matter. Keep rolling.
That reminds me of the what was it that just happened to the AF where the caster was like, no one's listening, no one's watching. Did you hear about that?
No.
What?
So it's apparently like a mantra in like broadcast where you basically it's like saying, imagine the audience in their underwear. Like to get yourself calmed down, you say like, no one's watching, no one's listening, no one's paying attention.
Oh.
And they had hot mics on and they were broadcasting like when they shouldn't have been.
Nice.
And Rod Woodson or Rod something like that.
That's
Just like a,
So he was worried?
No, he was talking to one of his like on the desk with him, and he said that, but people took it out of context to mean that he didn't think anyone was watching the AAF.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I wouldn't say that. The Apollos just hit 20,000 people at their stadium last game.
Like I mean they were.
Well, that's because
crunching
after
some
you've been to
numbers on
Disney World like 5 times, there's nothing else to do in Orlando.
I mean, the Commanders 2
the
weekends
Magic?
ago.
okay.
The
They got
Commanders
more
2
Cal
weekends
Force
ago.
now.
They had 27,000.
Yep.
Alamo.
He's there.
And they're still technically in the playoff race.
Well, I guess that's a decent segue. We can go to the NBA. Get away from this AAF.
Speaking of the Orlando Magic,
They're still bad.
yeah, they are.
Interesting things happen in basketball.
they still have that one guy that dunks.
Can we talk about-
And that's
Oh yeah,
bad.
Terrence Ross. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and Gordon.
Oh, I was talking about Gordon, but yeah, Terrence Ross is there too, isn't he?
Yeah,
we,
he got some good dunk.
Talk about LeBron already giving up on his team, basically.
Yeah, he's already. LeBron has already reported said that LeBron is already questioning his teammates' sense of urgency.
This isn't a good playoff LeBron version right now.
How happy is Cleveland right now?
I'm
Honestly.
so happy. Like,
Explain. You're losing.
We're about, Cleveland is at the highest peak right now. We're about to get Zion Williamson.
He broke.
Yeah, what did he,
He's coming back.
He broke.
He's coming back.
he sprained his knee.
It was just his knee.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything.
Knee injuries aren't
serious.
serious.
He'll be back for the playoffs.
Listen.
Tell that to Troy Polamalu.
Listen.
Well, he's not that good.
Guy made millions.
We're about to get Zion Williamson. And
I'm gonna laugh
LeBron
if
and
you don't.
Kyrie are miserable after leaving Cleveland. It's so great to be a Cavs
So
fan.
what
What
are
are,
you
the,
saying?
what are the odds that someone's worse off after leaving Cleveland, of all places?
So what you're saying is both of them are going to come back. You have Zion, and y'all are going to go.
I
win
think after
3 straight.
we get Zion, I think LeBron requests a trade back to the Cavs.
Kyrie's winning a championship.
Who are you going to
Boston.
trade?
Kevin
Zion.
Love. Kevin Love.
Just
Oh, okay, yeah, that's
Really?
That's
Okay.
Kevin Love for LeBron straight up. Who says no?
Me.
just about
Magic.
everyone.
Magic says no.
Speaking of the Magic again, they're pretty much tied for the 8th seed right now.
Really?
Yeah. Look at this.
It's amazing what LeBron leaving does to the East.
They're 28-33, and the Hornets are 28-31.
Wow.
So,
Wait, the
How do
Brooklyn
you,
Nets
how
are
do you get
6th?
in the playoffs
Oh, dude, the
with a
Nets are
losing
on
record?
fire right now.
D'Lo.
I don't know about
Deloading
that.
on fire.
Well, see, I was talking to Darren earlier. I haven't turned on the NBA too much because I've watched 4 Cavs games this year and we've won all 4, so I quit watching.
Oh.
I think I'm jinxing us. So when I watch, we win. So yeah.
I mean, honestly, worst case scenario, you get RJ Barrett too.
He's
I don't
better
hate
than
that
Zion.
either.
Like,
I don't
He's a
hate
better
that.
all-around player.
There's
Zion's
no
more
way you
athletic.
fall outside like the top 3 picks.
Unless, like, something. Man, it's the draft lottery. So
Yeah, I mean,
it's-
anything can
it's
happen.
possible, but it's very unlikely.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get that 14th pick somehow.
Did you see
Would
that
you cry?
Spike Lee at the Oscars or whatever happened?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think Samuel L. Jackson made a joke about the Knicks, and Spike Lee just started yelling, "We're tanking, it's fine."
And then he announced that the Knicks won their first home game in 18.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
they were at an 18 home game losing streak.
Pretty sure they also scored on
New
their
York sports
own
are bad.
basket that game. Might have been a different game.
Does
but
that?
Pretty
How
sure
often
happened.
does that happen?
18
More than
game
you'd
losing
think.
streak?
No, scoring on your own hoop.
My first point of my basketball career, 3rd grade in a rec league, got the tip off.
Same.
Scored
It was on a
opposite
free throw
basket.
too. I put it back up on a free throw.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was pretty embarrassing.
Wait,
See, I got
whoa,
I was
how?
You can't.
It
let
was
that
the
down.
second shot.
See, I was-
And they missed it, and I got it and put it back up, and immediately I let go of the ball. And I was like, "I quit. Take me out, coach. I'm done."
But you didn't quit.
Well, it's a rec
Unfortunately.
league, so you practice like once a week. So
Yeah.
You don't really know. And I was in 3rd grade. You don't know the rules of basketball or
Honestly.
anything yet. I'm playing point guard, so I get the tip off, and I just start running the other way. I hear cheering. All right. Well, what I thought was cheering, it was a bunch of like, whoa, whoa. And laid that up. I felt pretty good about myself. With a wide open layup, and yeah.
The best
I was like,
thing,
hey, you guys put those points on the wrong side.
the best thing about mine. The best thing about mine is it was the other team's like 4th points of the game in like the 3rd quarter that I gave them. They were awful. We were probably winning like 20-something to 2, and I put their own points.
Okay, I'm more upset about the fact that it was in the second half and you did this.
It's a long day.
You should not have known. You should have known by that point. Like.
Yeah.
It's all right. I felt bad for them. They were all soccer players. They didn't really play basketball.
I mean, speaking of terrible basketball, the Knicks snapped their 18-game losing streak.
You know what?
To the Spurs.
Good for them.
Which is weird.
Beat the Spurs by double digits.
Yeah, the Spurs aren't looking too great.
130 points. Who would have guessed?
Didn't even know they could score that much.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Who's still on that team?
DSJ is there now, baby.
Oh, yeah, that's
Okay, for him.
DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah, but he's
Oh, yeah.
He dunks a lot.
and a bunch of random G leaguers, pretty much.
They're looking.
Kevin Knox, he's pretty good.
No, nobody cared about Kentucky.
Well, he's doing well, is all I'm saying.
It's probably not hard to do well for New York Knicks, though. And
I don't know.
Hey, didn't you want to go poo-poo on James Harden or something?
Oh, yeah.
You said that earlier.
So, what do you think James Harden will win a championship? You think the Rockets can win it this year?
Not this year.
With James Harden?
Yeah. Do you think James Harden, with his play style?
When the evil empire of the West breaks up this year, I think James Harden has a chance.
He has more of a chance than him, but the
They
Thunder
did
are
beat the
looking
Rockets.
really, really good.
Yeah. And I was impressed with Paul George's commitment to re-sign.
Yeah.
I figured, like,
Lakers or something.
I mean, literally, it was the worst kept secret in the world that Paul George wanted to be a Laker. Then he re-signed with the Thunder.
Yeah.
You know why he wasn't a Laker? Because they didn't try to trade for him in Indiana. That's the reason why he didn't want to go to the Lakers.
Wow.
That's what I heard. I don't know. So he's like jealous ex-girlfriend or something. I want to re-sign with mine.
It's working out for him.
Yeah, I mean, they're looking a lot better than the Lakers.
Yeah.
And we all love it. We all
Yeah.
love it a lot.
I'm very happy right now.
So I watched Rockets game last week. I don't remember who they were playing, but there's like 7 straight possessions. James Harden dribbles up the key, waits for the clock to go down, step back 3, missed every single one. And I was like,
That's terrible.
you can't win like that.
Yeah, I don't really like how he plays, especially since he just doesn't play defense. Like, I always respect the two-way players,
Yeah.
but it doesn't matter to me if you score 75 points a game if you give up 80.
It's a fair point. I mean,
fair point.
not going to win a lot of games.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you got to score more points than the other
You
team to
do.
win.
Just
Yeah.
like touchdowns matter.
Yeah.
Whenever that clock hits 0, all that matters is if this number's higher than that number.
Yeah. I mean,
Very true. I didn't.
literally the only way to win.
Yeah, honestly. If you think about it rationally.
Speaking
No
of,
comments.
Speaking of not playing defense, apparently Karl Anthony Towns was in a car accident.
Oh, really?
He
I
almost
missed
died.
that.
He had a
Thursday, he had a 5% chance
of
of surviving.
Jeez.
I guess there's only like a 1 or 2% chance that you're only minorly hurt from the accident that he was in, and he's supposed to play again like this week.
Oh my gosh.
This was on Thursday.
I have no
That's
idea what
crazy.
happened, but
Well, I saw that he was swerving to avoid an accident that was in front of him, and he got hit by a semi or something that was going like 35 or 45 miles an hour is what they said.
Mhm.
Hey, you want to quit interrupting?
He just showed me a SpongeBob meme.
We take this very professionally.
Blaine, take a hike.
He keeps dropping his phone
Yeah.
and making loud noises.
Listen, you insulted me.
And you've yet to take a hike.
I can't. My knee's
Take
bad.
a lap. Get up and take a lap around the apartment.
Actually, so I do want
Or
to
get up and take a lap around our professional podcast.
Yeah, no, I want to tell you guys. So I went to the doctor on Friday.
is this about sports?
It's a sports related injury.
No.
No, after the
No.
podcast.
Okay, fine.
After
fine,
your
fine,
hike.
fine.
After your
So, that's pretty much NBA
Yeah,
right
yep.
there. We gotta talk about the NFL for a minute, and
Ooh, wait, some NFL talk.
I got
Something I know.
Matt's so happy. He's like,
I'm
I
pretty-
can speak.
I'm pretty happy. The Ravens are releasing Michael Crabtree, and
Yeah.
he was kind of garbage. He had 8 drop passes, which led the NFL last year.
Good
So
for me.
we'll take the $5 million that we get from that, and adios, Michael Crabtree. So maybe he'll go
Where's a good fit for him?
Pittsburgh.
Is there?
No, I don't know.
I mean, he's
I
a
mean,
wide receiver now.
I
He's
don't think
really regressed.
I don't think he's done, but like
he's really regressed from last
do you
year.
think he'll just go to some random team that's not really in playoff contention?
Jacksonville?
Whoever gives him money. Jacksonville needs a wide receiver. They need a lot of
So
things.
Nick
but
Foles to Michael Crabtree next year?
Terod
Both to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I think Terod Taylor can go a better fit for Jacksonville.
Foles is going to New York.
Can we
How do you feel
I
about
like
that,
that.
Troy?
Yeah.
All right.
All these New York talks about Russell Wilson. And,
Oh yeah. What do you think about that? Actually, let's set that up for a second. Russell Wilson's. I only heard about this from my friend. Russell Wilson.
Insider.
Like yeah.
his wife.
His
wants him,
wife wants him to go play for New York.
and you gotta listen to the woman.
Yeah.
He loves his
Wait,
wife.
but why?
He
Why?
loves his
Why?
wife
Because
very
it's
much.
a bigger. She's a musician, and it's a bigger.
Oh, so it's
market.
for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not for him. Not for him at all.
And she's being selfish.
Hey, but they're a
Honestly,
partnership.
His marketability is being wasted.
Oh, I mean,
Oh,
I
in
agree.
Seattle. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dude, who's making more money?
Oh, he would
Never
make a
heard.
lot more money with the Giants.
Feel like
Sierra's
it's
been
him.
making music since like 2004.
But does anyone listen to
That's
it?
true.
No.
Does
I've
anyone-
never even heard of
Absolutely.
it.
Yeah.
But
Goodies?
I
Okay.
haven't listened
One of the hottest songs
Okay.
like 2006.
One song.
I can't tell you. I don't even think I've heard that one.
Oh my goodness. Or P.D. Pablo. Alright, moving on.
how would you feel if either Russell Wilson or Nick Foles came in and took the job right on for me? Under
Okay,
Eli?
when Nick Foles, Russell Wilson, and Eli Manning are all on the Giants, it's gonna feel like the 4th of July. I mean, think about a better 3-quarterback set.
Oh yeah, you rotate that.
We're gonna
No
li-
one's getting hurt.
I don't know. I mean,
We're lining up all 3 of them in the backfield.
How do you say had a good
Russell can
quarterback
run.
set, though?
Yeah, I was gonna say the triple option with.
We know
Russell
Nick Foles can
Wilson.
catch. We know Nick Foles can catch.
Yeah.
We know Eli can throw.
Oh my God.
I mean,
Do you think that Nick Foles is the best wide receiver quarterback though? Probably the best hands for a quarterback.
Baker
definitely Tom
Mayfield.
Brady.
Definitely Tom Brady.
Baker Mayfield had a touchdown. Let's not forget.
I think Terrell
That's a
Pryor
catch.
2-point
would be
conversion.
the best receiving quarterback ever.
It was in the end zone. He had the ball in his hands after a throw.
Oh, yeah, Julian.
Blaine makes a fair point. And I think Terrell Pryor is the best quarterback wide receiver.
He's not
You're
wrong.
not wrong. We forget about him.
That or
because he's-
Braxton Miller.
I would
irrelevant
say
since-
Julian Edelman, but he never played quarterback.
Never really,
in the
yeah.
NFL, so it doesn't count.
He attempted a few passes though.
Yeah.
Doesn't
they
Terrell
all?
Pryor still have the longest run by a quarterback
Yeah.
in the
Yeah,
NFL?
for sure. It's like
90
93
yards.
yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was against
When he was with the
the
Raiders.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah,
Boy.
on
And
the
now
baseball
he
field.
doesn't really have a team because he hasn't done much since
Womp
the Browns.
Nope. But he
Wasn't-
got
he was
okay.
on the Redskins,
To be
wasn't
fair,
he?
this year he did get hurt.
He's been hurt since like
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Can we talk about a development that we've all found out about Steelers wide receiver Antonio Brown? He no longer wants to be called AB. He wants to be called Mr. Big Chest.
Yeah, can we talk about how that's probably in the top 3 worst nicknames of all time?
I think it's terrible.
What was Ron Artest? There was Metal World Peace, and then there was like
No, that was his real name.
Yeah, he changed his name.
Yeah, and then he
his
changed
name.
it to like
Yeah, AB, you want me to call you that? Legally change your name to Mr. Big Chest. That's
Or
the only
Big
way.
Chest. Or Big Chest.
That
Brown.
won't even work because when Chad Johnson changed his name to Ocho Cinco, I still called him Chad Johnson every day. I refuse to
so
call him
stupid.
that.
Yeah. But
No, it's just Chad Ocho Cinco.
That's not even like
Apparently,
correct.
street vendors in Pittsburgh are already selling Mr. Big Chest shirts.
That's
to make
incorrect.
fun of him. To make fun of him.
I kind of want to buy one.
Like you
I thought
You
he
know,
changed the shot
you know, he
numbers,
just
too.
put up like a decent amount of reps on the bench and got up like, yeah, call me Mr. Big Chest.
He had
And
just
he was
gotten
like,
up
oh, I
again.
like that. Yeah, I'm gonna tweet that out.
No, it's not just a tweet. He videoed himself. He's like, yeah, call me Mr. Big Chest.
So Meta World Peace changed his name again. Did you know that?
Did he really?
Like a while back to the Panda's Friend. In 2014.
Even.
He plays for China in basketball, and he changed his name to the Panda's
that-
Friend.
Is that racist?
I mean, you get it.
How many times
He
can
did go
you
and
change
punch
your
someone in
name?
the stands.
Probably change your name as many times.
Favorite
as you
player of
want.
all time after that moment.
It's very
One of the
iconic.
greatest games I've ever watched in my life.
and
But
then
I was a kid then too. Like I was a child just watching this. I'm like, is this what basketball is?
And, that's what you
And then
like
after that,
basketball.
he thinks changing his name to Meta World Peace will smooth everything over.
Well, speaking of smoothing things over.
Well, I mean, Kobe just had to win a championship, and that
and change his number.
And everyone forgot what he did.
What'd he do?
Exactly.
Speaking of smoothing things over, let's go to a rocky situation in New
Peanut
England.
Okay. But it can also be crunchy.
Oh, gosh.
just like this situation.
Yeah, very, very crunchy.
All right, Blaine, hit us with it.
I think Matt should start us out.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
Where do I
man.
start? Robert Kraft, he...
Great man.
Yeah.
I mean, he's done some good, done some bad. You know?
So
We all know.
Solicit the sexy times at a massage parlor. Allegedly.
So
I
if
think he got caught.
if this
it's
isn't
still-
called
From a journalistic standpoint, it's still alleged until he is charged and
Yes.
and-
You're
and
innocent until
convicted.
proved guilty.
Yes.
if this
Definitely.
isn't called Deflategate 2.0, we have a problem.
Like, if
Look, I'm just gonna throw it out there. That's what it's gotta be.
I think
I
you're.
completely agree.
No, I get what you're saying, but
Yeah.
like, in a much more real sense, if he doesn't get more than just a slap on the wrist, I'm gonna be very
What
upset.
the original
What do you
thing
think-
was like
what
a
do you think is
$5,000 fine, right?
He's rich and white. He's not going to jail for this.
Let's be real.
But Troy's right. He's not going to
No,
get
no,
drunk.
He's not gonna go
so
to
I saw
jail.
something that said that like he would likely. So the best court.
What is it? What?
I think he paid for more than that.
And yeah, there we go.
Anyway, I saw something that said that like the best course of action for him is to say, "Yeah, I went to the parlor and did stuff, but I didn't know about the human trafficking that was going on."
I bet you did though.
Except it was brought up a lot beforehand.
Apparently,
There's
he,
more other people involved that are more famous, I guess. but I
Apparently,
don't
he
know.
They won't
has-
release the name yet.
Yeah.
He has like over time he's like donated to anti trafficking causes.
Well, that makes you okay.
So
That's not
what?
fake.
No. What people
That,
are saying.
that more makes it seem like he knew.
What people are saying is he should just double down on that, give bigger donations, say he had no idea that was happening, he's sorry, and get off the hook. And then attend some like anti-human trafficking class.
Is that a
Which
thing?
no, but like
He's gonna send a proxy.
seriously, like think
Wait,
about it. If
wait,
there's anyone
so-
who could get away with it, it'd be him.
Yeah,
Wait, so
no.
if we're breeding opposites off this, does that mean there's a pro trafficking class?
I should say human trafficking awareness.
All right, but can we just like how can Tom Brady get in trouble for underinflating a ball? They get taken a pick away and
And Robert Kraft doesn't get in trouble
and
for
Robert
deflating
Kraft,
his
His own balls.
Robert Kraft does this, which is illegal, highly illegal, and gets a slap on the wrist.
Well, we don't know that yet.
Well, we don't
No,
know.
Yeah,
But-
it's not happened yet.
If that happens,
He's a white millionaire. He's not.
Quit making this a race thing, Troy.
I'm just saying.
but like how,
You know it as much as I do.
How does that
He's
look?
not going to
There
jail. for
doesn't
this.
need to be an explanation. It just is that way.
no, but how does it look for the NFL?
They don't care.
You know,
Okay,
they
but-
do though.
care.
Roger
They
Goodell's the
blackballed
commissioner.
Kaepernick.
Yeah.
Who thinks that they care about anything?
Roger Goodell's the commissioner. Dude doesn't
Yeah,
care.
he doesn't care.
I think that's gonna.
The worst commissioner.
I think it's gonna give the
Wait,
NFL a big PR.
I mean, they could force him to sell the team, though.
That's true.
They could.
I mean, I know.
But actually-
well, I know, like Adam Silver did that. In
They-
the
they-
NBA.
I
Oh,
can,
yeah, Dave, I forget his name already. The Clippers guy.
I think
Yeah.
like it's.
The racist.
Yeah.
I'm not
And
talking
he got
about.
in
There's been a
trouble.
lot of race brought up in this
And,
podcast.
and I mean, I'm not talking about the legality of it. I'm talking about like what the NFL is gonna do to punish. him.
So this is where I bring in the Colin Kaepernick talk.
Donald Sterling.
Is that
Donald
it turns out that he most likely was blackballed by the league because
Right.
he got a nice little payout. But the
Yeah.
NFL did not care because they just let it happen.
Well,
So I don't think they care.
I listened to an interview with Darius Butler, one of the former Colts cornerbacks, and he was talking about how he was in those original meetings, like when all that was going on, because he was one of the original people that kneeled or whatever like that. And he said like the whole time he was in there, he pretty much felt like it was like the owners and Goodell were just sitting there like, look, how much is it going to take for this to get like to get done with this? And, so clearly that was the plan from the get-go, was just to finally pay them off so they wouldn't.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling this will get swept under the rug. Call it a day.
If
I guess they don't have to release any of the details about it, and we'll probably never know
I
what the
feel like-
details of it are.
I feel like this is bigger than that. Though this is
Kaepernick?
more serious. This is a more serious type thing than. I'm not saying that the kneeling was serious, but like not serious. what I'm saying is like this is a more.
I think it
this
depends.
is a more.
But
It
the
depends on
Kaepernick
whether or
thing-
not he actually knew about the human trafficking.
I mean,
to
that's
me.
fair.
Yes.
Because like if he didn't know about that, then I think you can get away with saying like he just wanted a little, and then call it a day.
But the thing is,
Like-
honestly, just no.
But, like,
The
if it
little
turns
I
out
know
that
about the guy,
he's actually-
he kind of seems like a sleazebag anyway.
I mean, he is a
so it's
Yeah.
really hard to say that
Oh, he
he
wears
doesn't
suits
know.
and J's. I mean,
He gets his chains from rappers.
pretty fire looking. Yeah.
But I mean, like, it's really hard to like go to the fence. Like, he might not have known because when you live your life a certain way,
Yeah.
people are gonna
Yeah.
assume certain things about you, and then you get caught doing something like this. It's like, oh, that fits right along with everything else I've seen.
Yeah, plus, Boston teams and their fan bases are like the most shiesty people on earth. So
Well, that and like if you do anything,
Darren's
it's like, yeah, he's right.
whatever.
It's hard to play in Boston and New York. Their fans will destroy you if
Hey,
you're not.
gotta do what you
if you're
gotta
not
do.
good.
Now, wait, hold on.
Paulo Sandoval, what a
But-
piece of
Never
garbage
mind.
that player
think
was.
about how much money that market brings into. Like,
Well,
you
that
don't want to
might
do
be-
anything to jeopardize
Wasn't that-
probably what's one of your best markets.
Was
you're
Pablo
the
Sandoval?
NFL.
Was that the guy from
If
Backyard
you're
Baseball?
the NFL
Sanchez.
and you're already looking like you already look bad because of
It can't get any worse.
it could get worse though because NFL viewership even though
But
this
wait,
year
hold
is
on.
up,
It's
this is
hilarious
just-
watching his cult fan base just defend him. Though.
Yeah.
Oh,
my
yeah.
gosh.
But like the Kaepernick thing had to do with the NFL. Like Kraft, this doesn't have to necessarily do with the NFL.
Yeah.
So it's different.
I honestly like.
It's just
It's just Kraft owning an NFL team, but it actually doesn't have anything to do with
So-
the NFL.
okay, I want to build a scenario. Say someone like
Okay, hold on.
Ben, Big Ben.
Kareem Hunt
I like
hits
it all.
people on camera.
yes.
Yeah.
It's
And he
swept
gets-
under the rug, and he's already signed to a new team.
Yeah.
That's what's happening right
It
now.
wasn't swept under the rug.
He's on another
was
team.
technically-
He's
he
on
was
another
Ray
cut.
Rice couldn't get on another team.
He was cut and he was a free agent, but the
He got signed back.
The
And the NFL
investigation
didn't do
is still
anything
gonna
about
happen. No, they're still investigating it. They're still going through all that
Why don't you
process.
have to investigate? It's already been investigated.
It's
Like-
on-
I did a
it's
pretty
on
quick
camera.
investigation.
I mean,
on the video.
what
I
else
was like, oh, yeah, he kicked that girl.
That's
All I'm
Hunt.
trying to say
That's
is,
his foot. And there's our. Oh, yep. He
All I'm
did
trying to
it.
say is like people can get away with a lot of things in the NFL, as is proven through like
Or
Kareem Hunt
any
and whatnot.
athlete.
And I mean-
and they get away with it, and the league goes on. Unfortunately,
But wait,
Like,
wasn't there a Giants kicker who hit a woman too? And he's
Yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah.
Josh
was
Brown, I think is
completely,
his name.
yeah.
John
like-
Brown.
I think it
John
comes
Brown.
down to
John
whether or
Chance.
not you are replaceable. Kareem Hunt is good.
Kickers
He's
are
very good at the
replaceable.
game.
Yeah.
He got,
In
I
a
mean,
sense,
he
he is
got cut anyway,
irreplaceable.
So was Ray Rice.
Yeah, I mean,
You can
Ray
get rid
Rice
of a
was.
kicker.
I mean, Ray Rice
I
was
mean,
good. in
but
his
he was
time.
like the first person who like.
He really was.
I
The
mean,
big-
Ray Rice is what opened up this
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
debate because I mean, this is clearly it's been happening for years.
Of
and,
course.
we're finally
I mean,
seeing
that's
it
not a good
because,
thing.
well, yeah, but yeah, I'm saying I'm
No.
not condoning
I
it.
said,
That's the podcast.
no. I said, of course. I mean,
But it's finally opened up a debate, and I think that's what helped with the Colin Kaepernick thing because it finally opened up a debate. Like,
Yeah,
that's why
yeah.
all these things are coming to the
Yeah.
light now because I mean, with social media and everything,
It's a whole lot easier
stuff
to see.
stuff is
Yeah.
happening all the time now. Now we know about it. Before then,
Right.
we wouldn't know about the Ray Rice thing unless
yeah.
we saw it on ESPN the next day.
it's. I don't know. I think.
the unfortunate reality is that nothing will happen, but something should happen.
If
Yeah.
if the NFL doesn't make if the NFL doesn't find Kraft or something or even
They'd have to find an insane amount of
you
money.
really can't suspend him because he doesn't do much. He's just the owner. He just owns the team. You can't suspend him.
You'd
from
have to
games.
revoke his either revoke his team ownership or make him pay a huge fine.
And
Like
if
a
they
huge fine.
I don't see them doing.
if they don't do that, they really need to look at their PR. If they're making players sit out, and
Listen.
if they're
We brought up the thing about the Clippers, but listen, that's
You know
the
about the
Clippers owner
I've heard about it. Yeah.
versus
Yeah.
the
The
Patriots
Patriots.
owner.
I think that makes
There's
it
a
even
huge-
bigger.
But he's untouchable.
He's untouched. Like if
That's the thing about
If-
athletes. If they're really good and they do something like that, or like people like that, they're not going to get like.
imagine
trouble.
imagine the
Maybe I'm just-
backlash.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just cynical.
Well, no, listen, imagine the backlash the NFL gets if they make Kraft sell the team.
Who's the only? There's only one franchise that's really going to be that upset, and that's Patriots.
Yeah, exactly.
Are they
A
all-
The
pretty
biggest one,
important
yeah.
one.
The best
There's-
franchise in
There's
sports.
there's no good thing for the NFL if Robert Kraft isn't the owner of the Patriots.
Yeah.
Now, if we may move on, because we have to move on.
Right.
There is another interesting topic that this kind of segues into, is that he also owns an Overwatch League team.
Yeah, I forgot.
No, but like so the thing is, if you want to keep talking about this a little bit,
Oh, you want to
maybe
keep
he's
talking
not
about
gonna.
baseball?
No. I don't think they're gonna make him sell the Patriots, because you can't do that.
No.
But would the Overwatch League take a stand as a much smaller league and make him sell his Overwatch team?
I think that would be a whole lot easier.
I think that's a way easier.
Curious question.
Yeah.
How many people watch the league?
Yeah.
Like,
Esports?
like Overwatch.
It's getting a
getting
lot
big.
bigger.
It's getting really big. So Overwatch League, its opening weekend, it had 200,000 people watching it in America on Twitch. The Chinese market is bigger, and
Obviously.
there's also like the European market. So
Couldn't
I would say, if I had to guess, over 1 million
That's pretty good.
per
Not bad.
match.
Not bad.
Like, yeah.
I'd say
And it is
soccer's
still
probably
going.
better.
What?
I mean,
Soccer's
soccer is
probably better.
probably the best
I mean, it
sport
is
like
the
in
most
the world.
popular
I'd
sport.
rather watch esports.
Really?
Probably rather.
Oh,
just-
yeah.
Soccer's
But like
not bad.
esports in general
I
is growing
can't
an
stand watching
insane
it.
amount. Like, an insane amount.
You gotta watch like Spanish soccer. Those games
Oh,
are
yeah.
5-3. Like, there's at least some scoring in it.
Yeah, but it's
So,
8
speaking
points
of,
in the span of 5
I was
hours.
having some fun watching soccer at work today because they had it on the big screen in there. I don't know, it was fun.
Speaking of the Boston Uprising, Matt, do you want to talk about your?
I do want to talk about esports for about 5 minutes when I have that opportunity. Boys.
It's time for one time and one time only, Matt's Esport Corner.
Matt?
Man, I love being on the receiving
That
end
was
of
some
that.
enthusiasm.
All right. So
I will need payment for that sound effect, though.
Yeah.
That does belong to my corner.
I just got it licensed for one episode. Just pull it on over.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. It's a trade. It's a trade.
But
Anyway.
we are using his professional podcast.
Yeah.
So the Overwatch League has just started its second season. In the original season, just for some backstory, there were 12 teams in the league. One of them represented China, the Shanghai Dragons. Now, let me tell you, the Shanghai Dragons were bad. There were 40 games in that original season. They didn't just lose 10. They didn't just lose 20. They didn't just lose 30. They lost all 40 games in the season.
Yikes.
It's not good.
It's not good. It's not good. They ended up setting the world record for worst losing streak in professional sporting
At
history.
least they're consistent.
How do you just show up every day? Just knowing you're gonna lose.
That's the thing. Is, like, a lot of the players couldn't do it, and they quit like halfway through the season, or like they just had like serious bouts of depression where they were just like, I cannot play the game because I'm so sad that we can't win.
Bunch
The
of
Bills
quitters.
players quit at halftime.
Yeah, like that. It was bad. So they went 0-40. And they ended up like, okay, the Chinese players aren't cutting it. Let's sign some Koreans because everybody knows that Koreans are good at video games, right?
Whoa.
No, I'm saying like I'm saying that not from my perspective. I'm saying like that's
All
pretty much
Koreans are good at
that's
video
pretty much
games.
what like that's pretty much what their thought
What a
process was.
racist.
Was like
Continue.
their thought process. Was
Another
basically,
one.
Let's just pick up some Koreans, some random Koreans, and add them to the team. That's
random.
about how it went. They didn't even bother to get a translator. Like, well, they did, but she quit like 2 weeks in.
Yo, man, this is the-
That's racist. so there's
we
like
can cut that out.
so your starting lineup is now like 3 Koreans and 3 Chinese people. So you got like they can't communicate and they can't play the game. So they went on 40. So coming to year 2, now we got 20 teams instead of 12, and then we got 3 new Chinese teams. So now there's 4 Chinese teams. But if you remember, there was no Chinese team that won in the first season. So we set up this first match of the season. Shanghai Dragons play against one of these new Chinese teams, the Hangzhou Spark, and one of these teams.
Hangzhou.
One of these teams is going to walk away being the first team to win from China in the Overwatch League. And it looked good for Shanghai. They were looking good. They were looking clean. And then they lost their main tank player.
I have a quick question.
Yeah?
Is it possible for you to tie in Overwatch League? Is it possible for you to tie?
Yes. Well, tie a match, not a whole set. Not a whole set. You can tie a single map, but it's a best of 5. So you'll eventually get a winner.
That's why we do it.
So
Oh, that wasn't for anything you said.
I'll just,
That was for Blaine.
so they're looking good, and then their main tank is unable to play the game anymore. Now
what's
to
a
put
tank?
it into normie
Are you
terms,
serious?
it's like losing half of your linemen in football.
To the Giants.
Yes.
Actually,
Fair.
we lost all 5.
So imagine playing the game without linemen. It's not a fun
Just
time.
ask Eli Manning.
Imagine being a Giants fan.
Oof. So what the Dragons did was they traded a main tank from Robert Kraft's Boston Uprising team 2 days before the season started. So he didn't get to play in the opening match, and they lost. So they go to 0-41. Their second match, he still isn't really playing. Well, he's playing, but he's just off in his own world because he doesn't know, the strategies or anything. So they go 0-42. So we finally move into week 2, and the Shanghai Dragons play against the Uprising on the day that Robert Kraft did the thing. He did the thing. And let's just say he jinxed his team because they became the first team to ever lose to the Shanghai Dragons, bringing them to 1-42.
Woo!
Ending the worst losing streak in history.
Are they going to go on a 40-game win streak?
No, because they cut the number of games down to 28 this season.
Shanghai Dragons, I'm calling it right now.
Championship.
Winning the shit.
They could do it.
Taking the whole thing.
I'm not going to lie. They could get good.
I don't even watch esports, but that's my team now.
Yeah, so it is. Hey, it's a real underdog story, you know?
If you just sitting through years of terribleness has worked out for the Browns, so,
Eventually they come around. Yeah. Eventually you come around.
Maybe. They might have like one good year, then next year they'll just do real bad and just be,
What are you talking about?
You don't know that.
But that's a long-winded way of saying Robert Kraft jinxed his Overwatch League team by that's all I'm getting
by
at
being
here.
Robert Kraft.
Yep. Good job.
Yep.
Congratulations.
You're the worst.
Yeah, does he win the Nathan Peterman Player of the Week
No, he
award?
No,
He
we
doesn't-
can't.
he
Nathan
doesn't
Peterman's
even
not
win
that low.
He doesn't even win that. He's just he's the.
I mean, he had some
scumbag.
completions.
Scumbag of the league.
Like 2 or 3, I think.
All right.
Oh, never mind. Never mind.
Moving on.
So is it time for Troy's corner?
Does Troy have a corner this week?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Troy Gantt corner. that was
It gets so bad. It gets worse every
All right,
time.
we'll do it one more time. One more time.
I say we leave it. All right, let's go. My question to you guys is, your respective NFL teams.
Yeah.
Who is your least favorite draft pick of your fandom?
in history.
No, of like
Since you've been a fan.
Since you've been,
We're not going back to 1990.
Gotcha.
Vontaze Perfect doesn't count because he was undrafted.
It's probably hard for Noah because there's probably been
So many choices.
That's the main reason I would.
We'll start with Matt.
Yeah, we'll start with Matt.
I wanted to hear the Men of War. And
We're not starting with Matt. Matt doesn't know yet. All right, we're starting with Troy.
Yeah,
starting with
right.
me.
Yeah, I want to know what yours is.
Okay, mine's quite simple. You guys might not like this, but Eli Apple.
That's not who I was thinking you were gonna say.
Who'd you think?
Was Flowers not drafted?
Oh wow, yeah, I didn't think about that. Okay, I have two. Eric Flowers, simply because he's the worst player in NFL history. But I guess more of just a deep, I really don't like this guy, Eli Apple. Just, I've never seen somebody just skate by for 3 years.
Is it your bias?
No, it's not my
No,
bias.
he didn't do very well in New York.
Literally, he would just suck for an entire season. And then, week 16, he would come up with a game-winning interception or something, and then just somehow get to keep his job for the next year.
Yeah.
And, last year, there was multiple Giants quoted in saying that he was the problem in the locker room. They mentioned him by name, saying Eli Apple is the cancer of this locker room.
I'll be honest, I don't think anything came out about that while he was at Ohio State, but there were times when I kind of forgot Eli Apple was on the team.
Yeah.
Because, he didn't really come up with, big plays unless, it was super crunch time.
See, and I had a bunch of friends, that were Ohio State fans, and I was I never really saw him make any great plays, and they were like, oh well, our defense, it's designed to not give up big plays, so you give up the short stuff. And I was like, no, I just feel like he can't cover.
I mean, he's better than what we had last year.
Yes.
So.
Hey, Damon Arnett, he's the best corner.
Hey, do you want?
He's
hey,
back.
You can have Damon Arnett all you want.
Oh, we're fine.
All right, moving on, Darren. Oh wait,
I got mine now.
All right.
Oh, we found it.
So, in the fourth round of the 2013 NFL Draft, with the 115th pick, the Steelers selected out of Oklahoma Landry Jones.
Oh.
Terrible pick. Yeah.
Terrible pick. At
Terrible
least they let
pick.
him go in the fourth round. It's not like they wasted a first round draft
Yeah,
pick on
that's
this guy.
you are a lucky man, my friend.
Man, I mean, if you want to look at some of our
Ben
first round
liked him.
picks.
Because he wasn't good enough to ever take the job.
Yeah, that's what Ben liked.
If you look back at 2009, our first round draft pick was Ziggy Hood.
Oh, Ziggy?
Yeah. Just overall, I can't stand Landry Jones. He's just not a good football player.
He's gone though.
Well,
Whenever he
that's
comes in off the bench, you're going to lose the game.
I think Ben probably suggested him.
No, I wouldn't think you're wrong.
Yeah. Why do you think You want to try that sentence again? That was such a bad sentence. It threw off my sentence.
I don't know.
Other runner-ups are going to be Sammy Coates and Santonio Holmes. Even though he had the catch.
Santonio Holmes is
But,
pretty
like,
alright.
Sammy Coates wasn't that bad.
I don't like Santonio Holmes as a human being.
But
Moving on.
like it's
Wait,
like why
what?
do you think that Jimmy Garoppolo is the only quarterback that the Patriots have traded in years? Because he was the only person that was capable of taking Tom Brady's job.
Yeah.
Tom
You're
Brady
not
didn't
wrong.
like it.
It's true.
You think they'd have a Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo right now?
With
Maybe.
him at the helm?
Yeah.
Maybe, actually.
Yeah.
Like the last couple of years?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Especially after
So,
Oh my gosh, I have so many freaking choices. This
Oh,
isn't
yeah,
fair.
wait, that's not fair at all.
All right, Bengals.
oh, wow.
Joe Mixon.
No.
Yeah, he's definitely.
If you remember, like,
He is a hard hitter. I'll give
the
him
Bengals' biggest... Golly.
Probably Joe Moss.
I'm surprised it took that long.
We are just going all in today, boys.
If you're a Bengals fan, you know our biggest issue outside of head coach of the last few years is our terrible offensive line play.
Yeah.
And in 2015,
It's just getting so much worse as I go down the page. I'm sorry.
You're being thrown
This
into
is
an
awful.
existential crisis.
This is what I wanted.
but if you remember, in 2015, the Bengals selected Cedric Ogbuye out of Texas A&M.
Who?
Exactly. He was terrible. He was really bad on the line. And he was kind of an idiot.
Oh yeah, you ever heard of Eric Flowers?
Yeah. I've heard of Eric Flowers. Have you heard of Cedric Ogbuye?
Fair.
No, you've only heard of Eric Flowers because he's the worst lineman of all time.
I don't know if he's worse than Cedric Ogbuye, but yeah, in a lackluster 2015 NFL draft for us, he was the headliner, and it was terrible.
When's the last time you've had a good draft pick?
I think 26,
Did you even get
2017.
this year in the first round?
First, this year was Bradley Price out of Ohio State.
I got injured right away though.
Bum.
Billy Price. What'd you say?
Billy
Did you
Price
say
was the
Bradley?
Bengals.
I thought you said
Bradley?
Brentley.
I thought
No,
you
I was
Billy
like,
Price.
Billy is his name.
Yeah. William Price.
What did we get?
All right. He did all right. He did a good.
Billy Price did really well. I thought we had a good draft last year. We had what? Last year we got
Oh, we got Lamar.
Joe Mixon,
All right, moving on.
Jonathan, Carl Lawson, Sam Hubbard.
So
No, it's a Browns fan.
I can't really narrow this down
Can we?
because literally these last
You know what?
2 years.
It's fair. I'll give you like 3.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, well-
good. Because these last few years are like the first time as a Browns fan that I've watched a draft, and I've been like, all right, hey, we didn't screw everything up.
We did.
Because Baker Mayfield, Denzel Ward, Nick Chubb, and Antonio Callaway in one draft. Myles Garrett, Jabril Peppers, Njoku.
That was the best draft I'd seen in a while for the Browns.
Deshaun Kaiser was there too, but we're gonna ignore that. Ogunjobi, who's been playing really well.
Okeechobee? Is that what she said?
Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Yeah, it's Ogunjobi.
Artichoke Abobi?
It's Ogunjobi.
It's like
But then you make it down to 2016, and our first pick in the draft is Corey Coleman, who you'll realize is no
Hey,
longer
he's
on
a
the
giant. Let's go, baby.
dropped a whole lot of passes, but I don't think he really
Oh, he
makes
dropped
that list.
one against the Steelers.
Considering, and then 2015 wasn't terrible.
Johnny Manziel.
no, that was 14.
Was that 14?
Yeah.
2014,
Beat him to punchline.
Justin Gilbert,
Who?
Ooh.
Nobody's ever heard of.
and then Mr. Money Manziel.
He played, 2 years in the NFL?
Honestly,
Should still be there.
that
Oh yeah.
that might be number one on the list if it wasn't for the duo, the tandem of Trent Richardson
Oh, yeah.
and Brandon Whedon in 2012. I was in New York when this draft was taking place in a McDonald's watching the draft, and I saw those picks on the screen and I was like,
Did you cry?
That's rough.
this, the New York trip itself was garbage and I hated it. It just
New York.
piled on to everything terrible
Just from
happening
the
in my
start,
life.
You just knew it was going to be bad.
But you
Brandon
realize,
Whedon.
early in that draft, they just went for a guy that was going to get hurt all the time and a 30-year-old college student.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't
In the NFL.
even understand
Most of your draft picks I don't think are in the NFL
Hey.
anymore.
The bad thing is Brandon Whedon was really good in college.
In college, like honestly, there's just so much you could say about this, but we'll move on. Oh, and I didn't even realize we drafted Scooby Wright in 2016. But he doesn't play in the NFL.
Plays in the AFL now.
Yeah, he's in the AAF.
Yeah.
Get a Scooby.
So for
What
me
about the
here,
Ravens?
so we haven't had a great wide receiver since Steve Smith in his later times.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But like a prime wide receiver, way before my time as a fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in 2015, we got this guy from Central Florida named Brashard Perriman. Supposed to be the next big thing.
He's nice.
He's doing all
Supposed to
right.
have speed. Hold on. And the dude
All you said was
was
disappointing. So
absolute garbage.
for
Terrible. Yeah, for me, he was terrible. He couldn't even do anything. He was hurt all the time. And I was hyped about it because I'm like, I don't know who this guy is, but he looks good. And then during like the 3 years, he made like one good play, and I was like, oh, they won our first round pick. Other than that, the Ravens picks are usually really good.
they're pretty good at drafting.
Except, yeah, and then besides that one, and then we had like Kyle Bowler in like 2000. He was a quarterback.
Oh.
Didn't make it.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah, isn't the Ravens GM? Well, like he left
left.
this.
Yeah,
but wasn't he
switched.
known as like one of the best drafting GMs?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he was amazing.
He was their tight end, right? That
Yeah.
was who it was.
He played for the Browns for a while. Ozzie Newsome.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
Now they have Eric DaCosta, who's been there for like 20 years.
Really?
He's had other job offers for other teams, but he wanted to stay with the Ravens.
Now that's some loyalty. I can get behind that.
I like
I like
loyalty.
that.
So we'll see what his first off-season looks like. But yep, it's definitely Brashard Perriman.
Now, out of the 5 at the table, which one's the worst?
Everyone from the Browns.
Well,
Oh, Eric Flowers is pretty bad too.
Worst player of all time.
Probably Joe Mixon.
Can't get much worse than that.
Then I think Trent Richardson was.
he's up there.
But they got his first round pick because they traded the coach for him.
Yeah, then they wasted that pick too.
On some random linebacker that I don't think plays anymore.
Ooh.
But Johnny Manziel I thought was kind of a bad pick too.
It's just my history.
I think he's going to cry after this.
No, it's fine. Well, I'm over it now. We had 2 bomb draft picks in a row.
So you're
I mean,
due
drafts.
You're set to take over
Complete
the
drafts.
You're
in a
due
row.
for a bad one.
Except for
you guys-
Deshaun Kaiser.
You guys got the division.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
you got
got
the division,
Kaiser,
so-
yeah.
It's
I'm
wrapped up
willing
for
to
you.
give you the division. I think.
You're
they're
not.
Okay,
gonna
you know,
win.
quick question because I know we're almost out of time.
Ravens.
Do the Browns get their first playoff win next year?
No.
They got to make the playoffs first.
Do you not think they're making the playoffs?
No, see, I think
this-
they'll probably be like a 6 seed.
I
No,
They go up
see-
against
Okay.
one.
This is
No,
my
I
thing.
think they're
I
going to
think-
be the 3 seed.
I think they win. I think they win their division.
Well, I guess not 6 seed, 4 seed.
You gotta
But
see
this
who
is
the
my
other
thing.
teams
They
get.
go in. They go into the playoffs, probably having to play like the Texans,
Right.
or the Colts,
Yeah.
or somebody like that. And
Or the
Browns are
Chargers.
looking good.
But I don't know if they're
They ain't beating Andrew Luck.
What
That's
do we
fair.
do? What do we do though if Baker Mayfield goes into Indy and then lights up the Colts?
Oh, Jim Irsay's got to blow it up. Then
It's all over.
Colts are in a rebuild. Then.
I'll be dead wherever I was watching the game. I'll just be dead.
Okay,
So-
hey, straight up, if the Browns make it to a Super Bowl, we have to go. We have
To
to
the
go.
Super
I don't think you
Bowl?
understand how much money that costs.
That's
Those
a lot
are
of money.
crazy
I'd rather stay at
expensive.
home and watch it.
It's only like $3,000 for the nosebleed.
I don't want
Start saving, boys.
Maybe if we
I
get
only
big
have
at
to
that
sell
point.
my car.
Nah, what do you? I mean, you don't use it, do you?
I'm
You don't have
looking to
Lyft
buy a
driver.
new car.
Yeah, just sell your old car then.
Yeah.
Can you do lift?
That
with
car's
like
like not worth $900 maybe.
I'll do lift with a tandem bicycle.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
I like it.
I'll be darned if I pay and still have to pedal. That's ridiculous. That's the reason I'm calling you.
I feel like that's a good place
But
to end
I
it.
think we need
Yeah.
to wait for the offseason to see if the Browns.
That's fair.
Yeah.
If they have a good
Lucky.
off season, I'm gonna be giddy.
But we can pretty much say the Steelers and the Bengals.
I think
are kinda
Bengals-
used.
They're on their way
It's
down.
like the
The
Ravens.
Bengals, I would say the Bengals are on their way up now. Like, we might not
After you get a
do well
quarterback.
next year, but we're on
Then
our way
you're not
up.
on your way
You
up.
still got Andy.
I'm
Dalton.
Not yet.
With Andy Dalton, you're never going to be more than a mediocre team.
Okay, I hate to break this to you, Blaine, but there's gonna be a couple more years of
Your defense is
mediocrity with Andy Dalton, and then after that is when you start the rebuild. So you probably got a good 10 years before you have a winning season.
Have they hired a defensive coordinator
And
yet?
you have a new
Yes.
coach that no one even. He's the quarterback's coach for the Rams, but we don't
Just
know.
you guys watch.
Which the Rams are known for. They're a great quarterback.
Jared Goff, great quarterback.
Ah,
They made Nick Foles look terrible.
they did.
And that's hard. It's hard to do.
Yeah, I mean, he's the GOAT.
And Keenum. Oh, wait.
All right.
All right,
And,
that was another episode of the Sort of Stupid Sports Podcast. If you're listening all the way to this point, thanks.
We applaud you.
Thanks
Thank
for.
you. Thank you.
Sorry for the AAF and the esports thing.
Ooh.
Next week will be the real.
A single tear.
The
real-
Bryce Harper will
We should all
probably
just
shine
come in
by
with
next
our own
week.
like super good questions.
That's what we're
Yeah,
gonna
I
do
think
today,
we need to.
but-
I think we
didn't
need
have time.
because we don't have much to talk about right now.
Next time we could potentially
Hey,
We're
if
have
going
a
you
to-
new
have-
format.
if
you know?
you're one of the 10 people listening to this and have a question,
Yeah.
ask us, and we'll probably talk about it because there's
have nothing
really not
else to
much
do.
going on in the sports
My
world
grandpa
We'll do
was
the-
talking
until Bryce
about
Harper
pickleball.
signs with
We're
someone.
doing baseball predictions.
It doesn't even have to be about sports.
It could be about life.
Brock Lesnar.
The World Religion
Whatever it
Podcast.
is.
Yeah.
Any questions about Brock Lesnar? We have a lot
Or
of
Block
we have a lot of
Lesnar. Whatever you want.
You
All right.
All right, that's it.
That's
Bye.
it. We're out.